A mask is not always a lie. It's a curated slice of the truth. A performance we put on for safety, for belonging, for status, or for power. It's fear plus reward. Fear of rejection, fear of shame, fear of punishment, wrapped in reward. Reward of praise, reward of access, reward of money, protection, or even sex, or even a pat on your back that says, good, you're good, or good job. But here's the contract we all signed, whether we admit it or not. And it goes and says, I'll hide what threatens you if you keep me safe. And the tragic part is, if you wear the mask long enough, you start to believe that the mask is you. That this can change. That this is just how things are. Stay with me now, because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the mask I wore the longest and what it cost me. We weren't born masked. We were trained for the stage. As children, we learned that if I placed my parents, I'll be safe. If I throw a tantrum, I'll get attention. If I play the good boy or the good girl role, I'll be rewarded. Perform and you won't be abandoned. And those little performances stacks up until they become the mask we live in. I was always the funny one, but the day I showed up quiet, people thought something was wrong with me. But the truth is, nothing was wrong with me. I just didn't bring that mask with me. For that day, at least. Before entering a room, I feel my body twitch, my spine up, smile up, game face on, ready to put on the mask that befits the environment that I was in any moment. That wasn't me. That was the actor going on stage. But when I'm alone, I dance, I laugh, I'm free. But when I'm around people, I've learned to shrink parts of me. Because every time I showed my raw self, someone always had something to say. Why are you wearing sunglasses indoors? Why are you wearing sliders? Why do you talk like that? Why do you act like that? So I eat pieces, not always to please people, sometimes just to stop the criticism. And even then, I was still called weird. So I thought to myself, maybe the mask wasn't working. Or maybe it wasn't meant for me to wear. It wasn't mine to wear in the first place. It wasn't worship. It wasn't growth. It was survival. Now, I don't think mask in itself is a problem. I don't think mask is all that evil. Mask help regulate chaos. Like helmets, they save lives. If we were to do everything that's on our mind, that we think of, we'll burn our lives down. Sometimes the mask help us keep the peace. Sometimes the mask help us prevent us from doing something stupid. Sometimes the mask help us belong long enough for us to survive. The mask helped me make friends. The mask helped me be loved, even if not the type of love that go deep. And history shows this too. Back then, women wore the mask of homemaker. Men wore the mask of provider. Played your role right, and the society, the world will accept you. Fail, and you'll be deemed, you'll be branded a failure. So no, the mask is not always the villain. Sometimes it's the only thing holding the system together. But here's the problem. A helmet protects you from battle, but you can't always live your life in a helmet. A mask can protect you for a moment, but it cannot shape you for a lifetime. Because every masks buy something, and every mask builds you later. Train your eyes and you see it. Mask everywhere. Not just in you, in your family, relationships, your work, your church, your socials. As children, it was easier to make friends because the masks was thin. We could laugh cry, fight, and by the next day we'll be friends again. But in adulthood, now we wear layers, and those layers makes connection harder. From childhood, we learn to put on different masks because of the reward associated with the masks. The people pleaser can be accepted, but the cost can be resentment. The perfectionist can get praises from friends and family. Oh my gosh, you're always getting A stars. I remember I had a friend back in Nigeria. Brilliant kid, always gets A stars. But the day he got A, or was it B? It wasn't. He got an A or B, and he cried. He cried his eyes out. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this and this. And this is him, the perfectionist, and the payoff is being praised by friends and family. But the cost is anxiety. Even a slight drop, which isn't a failure, you'd feel like hell. And I told him, you're brilliant. You didn't get first place this time, but there's always a next time. It baffled me because I got C's and I was ecstatic. And for the Stoic, Marcus Aurelius and them lot there, the payoff is respect. Everyone respects them, but no one sees how much a long time they have to be in, or loneliness, or like Samamoto Musashi would say, you must learn the heart of aloneness. Now, for the clown, yes, the payoff is attention, and the cost is no one taking him or her serious. Even in church, as a woman told me, Olari, you're good, but you're not serious. And I thought to myself, you don't know how serious I am. I just don't show it because I don't feel the need for me to pull my seriousness on my chest or on my sleeve. It comes across a bit performative, and I don't think people care enough to know how well I'm actually doing. I believe people ask questions because they want to judge. They ask questions because they want to make quick decisions. They don't ask questions out of curiosity. They don't really ask questions to really know you. They just ask questions so that they can put you in a box in their head. And I don't want that to happen. So one of the easiest way is just to be funny. Just to laugh everything off. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. That says pros and cons, of course. But here we are. I'm not going to explain everything one-on-one. I'm just going to go the payoff and the cost of it as quickly as I can. For the Savior, the payoff is purpose. The cost is exhaustion. For the saints, the payoff is moral high ground. The cost is hidden shame. For the hustler, the payoff is clout. The cost can be hidden identity equals output. How much they make is who they are, and so the high value people. The rebel, the payoff is autonomy. The cost can be isolation. The chameleon, the payoff can be access, but the cost can be who am I when nobody's watching. This could be people who are ambiguous, like their race is ambiguous, or you're trying to access a community that people of your skin color don't really easily get into you. So you have to act a certain way to be accepted. So access, but the payoff can be who am I really when nobody is watching. Every mask buys something, and every mask builds you later. And until we have the courage to put the mask down, connection would always feel harder than it should. But the cost will pile up. People will love the cost too, instead of you. Burnout, 24/7 impression management, moral injury, betraying values to keep the role, to keep the mask, identity fog, forgetting what you want, when no one's watching. Imposter syndrome, being praised for a mask you no longer recognize. And the body keeps the score. Tension, insomnia, numbness. If peace only arrives when you're alone, the mask was working over time. These days, people call me calmer, but the calmer I get, the less accepted I am to the crowd. And I am learning to be okay with that. I am learning to be okay with the constant applause, because applause is not the same thing as love. How do you know that the mask has you? That's a question I'm asking anyways. You speed up when certain people enter the room. You feel silence because quiet feels dangerous. You say yes faster than your body does. Feedback will feel like extinction, not information. You feel relief when plans cancel because your mask gets a break. If you can only rest when you're alone, your soul has been paying the bill for far too long. Fear casts the spell. The mask is the costume. The theater is the system. But truth is the face beneath it all. And renting approval is the most expensive lease on earth. In the next episode, we'll be talking about how to take the mask off without losing your job, your mind, or the religious institute you belong to. If this was useful to you, if this opened your eyes, hit the like button right now and push the message higher. Because someone out there is still confusing applause with love.